April to order at 6:32 p.m. Open it up to public comments. Seeing none. I do have one, just to follow up on a concern Tommy had about the snow at the gate. We've had a couple conversations with the road crew, and I think they accidentally did it again this past storm, but actually brought the loader over and cleared it up. So I'm pretty sure, Tommy, if you can confirm that that's been moved out of, I mean, it's probably melted at this point anyway, but I know that they were working to get that snow out of the way of the gate, and we'll come up with a better plan for that next year to make sure that we don't block that gate. But I just wanted to give a quick update on that we did get that looked at after the last meeting. Okay. Any additions or changes to the agenda tonight? Perfect. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes from the February 13th meeting? I have a motion. Do I have a second? Tommy waves. Any discussion? All in favor? Yep. Thank you, Matt. Do we need Mike and Matt? Okay. All right. So, also following up on the last conversation, one of the last conversations we had in February, we did finally receive a kind of a maintenance schedule for what we got going on Horace Hill. That is going to go out to bid, and that's just, per the spending policy of the town. So we'll get that out to bid, and all of this information will be included in there, but the recommendations, and I'll just loosely go over them now. Spring trail maintenance, leaf blow, stick cleanup, and clear the drainages. Clear winter blow down trees as needed, reshape berms as needed, and clean the culverts and seep the drainages. So that's every spring. Throughout the summer, a maintenance needs assessment and corridor maintenance. That was 2 hours bi-weekly. Clearing of any blown down trees as necessary. Reshaping of berms as necessary, cleaning the culverts and seeping drainages as necessary, vegetation pruning and sightline maintenance as necessary, and spot repair work from severe weather events. Okay, so that's going to happen, bi-weekly through that needs assessment throughout the summer. And then in the fall, 2 leaf blows, stick cleanups, and drainage clearings, clearing the blow down trees if there are any more, and then cleaning culverts and seeping drainages. So like it's broken down how often all this stuff is needed, and that'll be in the bid that we put out. I know there was some question, the trails, in Stratton require, so much maintenance and this and that. So I talked to Sinuosity about that, and they said, yeah, those trails do require a bit more maintenance than what he expects our property to, just because of the drainage, the location of the trail, the way the snow's coming off Stratton Mountain down those trails, and the water on the property. So he's under the impression that, with his recommendations, that ours will not require as much maintenance, but did outline, what the required maintenance would be. Okay, so I'll be getting that together in a bid very soon. They'll be doing cleanup, spring stuff for us as they're finishing up the trails this spring. So we have a minute to get the bid together and out there and get somebody chosen. Excuse me. But that's the maintenance. And speaking with our friends at the disc golf on the disc golf side, with the foot traffic, obviously a lot less wear and tear. We're not dealing with bikes and things like that. So, he was pretty thoroughly convinced with the number of disc golfers and whatnot that he knows locally that's a trails day type of initiative to just make sure, like, obviously we can have down trees out of the way and things like that on the town side, but as far as like general maintenance and taking care of like clipping back like branches and things like that, that's going to be a trails day, probably in the spring, 1 or 2 in the summer, and then another one in the fall. Okay, so that's our plan there. But like I said, as far as the hiking and biking trails go, we will have this bid out here shortly with the information that we have. Okay, any questions on that for me, Garber?
Okay, so Where does all of that leave the snowmobile trails?
What do you mean?
So during the wintertime, the stump jumpers usually clear their own trails. This bid will or will not include wintertime clearing of the snowmobile trails.
There will be nothing in the bid for the snowmobile trails. That was not I didn't realize that that was something. Is that something you're looking for us to do, or?
I just want to make sure that I know everybody's place. We do not request it. We do not want it, but I just wanted
Okay.
to make sure it was not
Yep.
being included.
No, it's not included in the bid. I mean, you guys kind of, like you said, you take care of your own trails, and speaking with some other local clubs, I mean, all of that work is done by the clubs, not by the town, so that we didn't plan on including it in the bid.
Correct. Okay.
But
So
no,
that's fine.
there would be nothing in there for the snowmobile trail as far as winter maintenance.
Okay. You said the word drainage a lot when it comes to the hiking and biking trails. Do you know specifically how many culverts were put in, if any, and or is it just ditching that we're talking about on the hiking and biking side of this whole thing?
I don't have a number for culverts. I know that there's a lot of ditching in the switchbacks and the S turns and things like that. I can get a number of culverts from Brooke, but I don't want to misspeak and have that be a thing.
Okay, I don't know if they put any culverts in. I was just wondering if you know of any because it would have been included in some kind of bill that we got.
Yeah, but again, I don't have that information in front of me, so I
Okay,
can either look back at the like any of those materials would be included in a bill. But I can also get that information directly from Brooke so that I'm giving you accurate information. I don't, like I said, I don't want to misspeak now and have that be a thing later on. So let me get an answer on that, and I'll let you know.
okay, and then lastly, all of this maintenance does not start until Horace Hill even opens up, which has not happened yet. So we're still looking to complete the project before we look to do maintenance on the project. Is that correct?
That is correct. So we ran out of dirt time at the end of last season. So I mean, barring any more major winter storms, the plan was to be done with both sides of the project by the end of May with a grand opening in the beginning of June.
And so you would be looking for this maintenance to start when? June
Probably in June. Yeah.
or
Like I
August?
said, they've already said that they would go through and take care of like the spring cleanup and make sure that everything's ready to go for the grand opening. So we'd like to have somebody in place to start doing that biweekly assessment and maintenance, starting around June.
And just lastly, uh, who's putting in bids? How many bids do we need? If only one person puts in a bid, how does that get handled?
Then that's what we get, right? Like, but it's because it's over a certain spending threshold, I mean, with this threshold, I believe it's three written quotes. It doesn't even require a full process, but I'm going above and beyond to put out a full bid, instead of just calling specific people and asking for bids. I'm going to put out a full bid, response, and then we'll score and make a recommendation to the board.
As I keep going here. So the town will or will not get involved in any portion of down trees that happen in Horace Hill.
No, I've spoken to Travis. If there's an emergency and we need to have a tree taken out of the way, we absolutely have the ability to do that. But this is, as far as our last conversation went, that wasn't that wasn't an acceptable final solution. So, this person would take care of these as we needed them, but if for any reason they weren't available, then yes, Travis has already said that he has people who are available to help us get those off the trails.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions, Tommy?
Not really a question, and I don't know if you're looking for any input from this body for the RFP. But I just have a couple quick suggestions you could take or leave. Mike brought up a good point I wasn't thinking of. The number of culverts might be good to have in that for people responding. I know that we're going to take a look at it. I don't know if the ability to, maybe walk the property would be available. That might be helpful. And then the other thing I was thinking of for really more for the town, not for the whatever organizations are responding. It maybe putting in some thought of whoever responds that this is like a, you could decide, but it might be helpful to have a 2 or 3 year kind of deal. That way you have a little continuity and you don't have to go through this every year. Just a thought.
Yeah, no, I think that's probably in the plans. So good thought.
Sounds
Thanks.
good.
Tom. Any other questions on that piece? Awesome. So the last thing I have for you guys tonight is something that's been on our plate here for a little while. The dedication plaque at the town forest. Put bids in front of the board last year. They decided to go in a direction to have somebody volunteer and do it for us for free. There was some work put into cutting the rock throughout last summer, and in the fall, in the final part of the cutting, the rock broke, which does not bode well for holding plaques. So I just wanted to give you guys the updates that I have spoken to Travis. He'll be removing that white rock that's there, placing another rock. Once I know what that rock is, I'll reach out to a couple of the professional monument companies that we had worked with the last time to get us bids to get that taken care of. But I just want to let you guys know that that hasn't fallen off our radar if you don't see it up there. Okay. Any questions on that piece? Garber?
So again, I get confused. You have this company that's bidding on a maintenance contract for Horace Hill, but who's doing the maintenance up on the Dover Town Forest? Just so we're clear.
So we signed an agreement with SOVTA last year to do some maintenance for us. But we don't have, I mean, like we need to have another discussion for this year whether or not SOVTA and Steve have time to be on the property. Like I don't know. We don't have a bid out for town forest right now. The bulk of the work that is required is to clean up those backcountry ski zones. That middle road of the property is a town trail. So typically the road crew would be responsible for anything on that main piece of the Rice Hill Trail, going down to the bottom of the hill. And then the stuff off to the sides, like I don't know. I mean, I don't know if SOVTA had trails days planned or anything like that, but if not, then we can take a look at that hiking trail up around the top there.
Just because I'm here to be nosy, SOVTA and the town has some type of relationship for the Dover Town Forest. Hopefully they'll have that going forward. Who knows? Did the town try to work with SOVTA to do the maintenance on Horace Hill? Or is that something they have to still work on privately? I mean, I just don't understand why they're not working on that piece also.
I mean, we didn't have a landowner agreement for that property. The landowner agreement was for the town forest. And just that's we Tommy brought up the fact that we do need that maintenance on the property, and I agree with him. But with the amount of money that we're talking about potentially spending for the maintenance, I mean, it's something that has to go out to bid.
And SOVTA could get involved on Horace Hill if they bid on it.
Absolutely.
Okay? I'm just making sure that everybody's got a fair.
I had a
shot.
discussion with Tommy. I believe they, are going to at least take a look at it and see if it's something that they're interested in doing. So yeah, absolutely. They're entitled to look at it.
Okay.
Tommy?
Eric, I would just add to Mike's question concerning Dover Town Forest. In a select board meeting, God, I don't remember how long ago it was, Andy kind of spoke up and talked about maybe redefining the nature of the relationship to where this would kind of look more like what you're talking about for the Horace Hill.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't currently have a landowner agreement whatsoever in place. We did do some maintenance there, and I do owe you a final report on that just to kind of get it open, clear skin track sort of thing this winter. That property does need extensive work. And I don't know if it's this body or the town, or it's supposed to be the Conservation Commission that kind of requests that. But, you know, just for the knowledge of this committee, there's certainly pretty extensive work that needs to be done, not just in the backcountry ski zones, but, you know, in the skin tracks, which also operate as hiking trails.
Mhm.
I was back there a couple times this winter. It's pretty overgrown, and it's the property's definitely lost its luster. So, you know, again, I don't know if that's something, you know, maybe we invite the Conservation Committee in for a future agenda item.
Yep.
But, you know, there is currently no plan going right now for maintaining that property.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll touch base with Andy and the Conservation Commission, and we'll get rolling on that. Okay, everybody happy with that? All right. That's all I have. Our next meeting is May 14th, if needed. If you have any agenda items, things you'd like to talk about, make sure you get those to me the week prior so we can get them on the agenda. Okay? Can I have a motion to adjourn? Tommy makes a motion. Julia seconds. All right, awesome. Thank you, guys.